Good morning, and welcome to World in 5, your trusted source for comprehensive coverage of today's most pressing events, delivered with accuracy, integrity, and insight.
Turion Space, a startup based in Irvine, California, has received a $1.9 million contract from SpaceX, the U.S. Space Force's Innovation Division, to create an autonomous system for spacecraft docking and maneuvering. This initiative is aimed at enhancing the technology for engaging non-cooperative space objects and aiding the deorbiting of defunct satellites. We have Shelby reporting on this.
Ryan Westerdahl, Turion's co-founder and CEO, shared in an interview that the company's primary focus is on in-space mobility and non-Earth imaging. In June 2023, Turion launched its inaugural satellite, Droid 001, a 32-kilogram spacecraft designed for space situational awareness. The data collected by this satellite is being incorporated into the Space Force's Unified Data Library. Westerdahl also mentioned plans for a demonstration as early as 2026, which will feature a droid mothership deploying micro-droid satellites equipped with a capture device developed under the SpaceX contract. The micro-droid, partially funded by NASA, will use grapplers to capture space debris. Understanding the positions of objects in space will allow operational satellites to maneuver without the risk of collision and enable the removal of large, non-maneuverable objects, Westerdahl explained. Back to you, John.
Thanks for that update.
Emirati satellite operator Yahsat has chosen SpaceX to launch two geostationary communications satellites, Al-Yah-4 and Al-Yah-5, as part of a $1.1 billion program. We have Anthony reporting on this.
Yahsat announced that SpaceX would launch these satellites in 2027 and 2028 using Falcon 9 rockets. The financial details of the launch contract were not disclosed. In June, Yahsat finalized a contract with Airbus Defence and Space to build the satellites, after beginning the design work a year earlier. Utilizing the Eurostar Neo bus, these satellites will provide broadband services to the Middle East, Europe, and Asia, replacing the existing Al-Yah 1 and 2 satellites. Ali Al-Hashemi, Yahsat's Group Chief Executive Officer, stated, "With the successful completion of the launch contracts with SpaceX and the recent design and manufacturing agreement with Airbus, Yahsat is now well positioned to secure the final contract with the UAE government, the primary customer of the Al-Yah 4 and Al-Yah 5 program. This represents the largest mandate Yahsat has ever received from the UAE government." Back to you, Bella.
Thanks for that update.
Japan's H-3 rocket successfully launched an Earth observation satellite on Sunday during its third flight. We have Jensen reporting on this.
The H-3 rocket lifted off from the Tanegashima Space Center at 11:06 p.m. Eastern on June 30, 3:06 UTC on July 1, carrying the Advanced Land Observing Satellite 4, ALS-4, also known as DAICHI-4. The two-stage launch vehicle performed as expected, and ALS-4 separated approximately 16 minutes and 34 seconds after liftoff, according to the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency (JAXA). Telemetry data confirmed that ALS-4's solar arrays fully deployed after reaching orbit, with data received from the satellite at JAXA's Minchinoo station in Australia. This launch follows the H-3 rocket's successful second flight in February. The H-3's first launch in March 2023 ended in failure when the second stage engine malfunctioned, prompting controllers to issue a destruct command to destroy the stage and its ALS-3 payload. The initial failure resulted in the delay of Japan's Martian Moon's Exploration (MMX) mission, which aims to collect samples from the Martian moon Phobos and return them to Earth. The mission is now targeting a Martian launch window in 2026. Back to you, John.
Thanks for that update.
NASA and SpaceX are working on modifying the Dragon spacecraft's reentry process to reduce the amount of debris from the spacecraft's trunk section that reaches the ground. We have Alana reporting on this.
Debris from the trunk sections, which are jettisoned from the capsule before it performs a deorbit burn, has been found on land multiple times. This includes debris from the Crew 1 Crew Dragon trunk found in Australia in 2022, the AX-3 Crew Dragon trunk that fell in Saskatchewan in February, and fragments from the Crew 7 trunk discovered in North Carolina in May. In August 2022, shortly after the Crew 1 debris was found in Australia, A SpaceX official suggested the incident was an isolated case. This was all within the expected analyzed space of what can happen, said Benji Reed, Senior Director of Human Spaceflight Programs at SpaceX, during a NASA briefing. Nonetheless, just like we do for launches and any return, we look very closely at the data, we learn everything that we can, and we always look for ways we can improve things. Back to you, Bella.
Thanks for that update.
Thanks for tuning in to World in 5 for your daily dose of news and updates. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on breaking stories and insightful analysis.